Welcome back to another episode of Ask the Techies. I'm D.Lee Beard, and as promised, today I'm going to show you how to import video into your computer, particularly on the Macintosh using a program called Final Cut Pro, and I'll touch briefly on iMovie as well. I'm going to talk about how to import analog video, which is non-digital, like old VCR tapes, as well as how to import digital from a digital camcorder, and how to import from more advanced devices like a deck like this one right here. First off, the most common thing is you might have a camera that you want to hook up. It's very simple to import video from a standard definition camera. And basically this one is high def, but you can shoot in standard definition or high definition. And usually what you do, if you want to hook up the camera directly to the computer, if that works best for you, then you basically, on your computer, you should have a FireWire or iLink port. That's what you typically use. And so if you come in here, you'll find a little port right there. And if you kind of flip it over, it looks kind of U-shaped. See if you can see that. There we go, right there. And that's your HDV. In fact, if I angle that just right, I think the camera can get that on there where you can actually see where it says HDV or DV. And so that's where you could hook up. And that's a 4-pin connector. And I actually have a cable here. And in this cable, you can see there's a 4-pin connector that will match up with that port. And the other side is a 6-pin, although depending on what kind of a computer that you've got, you may have a 4-pin connector. But this is a 6-pin. Basically, the difference is this kind of connector can draw energy, electricity, through the wire as well. And that port goes into your computer. I've already got a cable already set up over here. And if I plug this into I have a cable here, pop it in. There we go. And then I turn my camera on into the camera mode. Set that down. Then I can open something like iMovie, for instance. Ba-dum-bum. Yep. Okay, it says ready to record. There's an automatic and a manual. An automatic setting will rewind your tape in there and take care of that. But in this situation, under manual, I would just click import. And then I can choose how large I want it, whether I want it 960 to 540. It says to create a new event, save to. You can choose which drive you want to save it to. And you have a choice between large or full high definition resolution, because it is a high def camera and it's set to high def mode. Now you can set it to the lower mode as well. But basically you choose if I chose full. Now one of the problems I've run into this when I do this and I click OK, and it's going to start capturing. You'll notice right down here the seconds are clicking away. And then I click stop. Then it's going to generate thumbnails in iMovie 08. And I'm going to go ahead and close out. And then it shows up right here. And there's my video. If I right click on that and go to Reveal in Finder, or actually I think I can just click on the clip. Actually go back to Reveal in Finder. Then you can double click on it, opens it up in QuickTime, and you can go to Window Movie Inspector, and it shows me over here that it's actually, if you can see this very well, pull this over, it's actually the current size is 960 by 540 pixels, which is really strange because that's not what I chose. But it's kind of a quirk with iMovie 08 that I've seen, and if you close that out and we come back to this and we click on the camera icon over here on the left and we go to import again, this time when I go to import it'll do it right. Let me show you. Get the camera to recognize and ready to record. So let's hit import. It's going to full size this time. I'm going to create a new event, the 0901. Click OK. And it's importing some video. Woo-doo-doo. Hit stop. And it's going to do this little generating the thumbnails for the program. I don't think it took my first stop. There we go. Then we close out. And now I have my new event right here, and the one I just did. And again, I can right click and choose Reveal in Finder. And this time, I double click, and you see how much bigger it is. It filled the screen. And I go to Movie Inspector, and you can see that it is now 1920 by 1080 pixels. iMovie's got a glitch in there. The first time you do it, it's going to screw up. So do a real quick capture, stop the capture, do a capture again, and then you'll get the high definition quality that you want. So it's a little flaky that way, but that's a way that you can do it within iMovie. And that's really helpful if you only have Final Cut Express, because Final Cut Express has some limitations regarding importing high definition video. And then you can drag videos that you've created here directly into Final Cut Pro. Let me change back. So you can drag this video directly into Final Cut Pro or Express and actually be able to edit it right there without any problems. So that works well for you. Now to go on to the other solution in Final Cut. Now that's a way you can record directly off the camera. So you can record from the tape by hitting play on the tape, or you can record live directly from your camera onto your computer. Now, a plus to that is that if you record directly to, say, a laptop portable, then you can record for more than an hour. A mini-DV tape is limited to 1 hour of video. But if you hook it up to a computer, you can record on the hard drive and record as many hours as you've got room on your hard drive to record. So that might be a really good tool for you. Now, when you first launch Final Cut Pro, it's going to ask you about an external AV device. In other words, a way to import a camera, a mini DV deck, something like that. And I'm going to tell it to, don't worry, I don't have anything connected right now, and click continue. And if I was to use in this situation, normally under Final Cut, when you go to capture video, you go to the file menu and do log and capture. And it says it can't find it online. There you go, preview is disabled. And that's because the settings are screwed up. When you first launch Final Cut Pro, you'll have to change a few settings on that. And we'll do that differently. Let me turn this off. All right. What I want to point out to you is some other ways that you can import, and I'll go more into importing video in Final Cut Pro in a second. But what I want to point out to you is some of the other devices that you've got. If you have something that's not digital, then you would have to import from something using a converter box like this. And this is an analog to digital video converter box. And basically, it converts analog into the digital format, the zeros and ones that the computer understands. And so basically what you do is there's an in part. You can see right there on there where it actually says audio in, video in, so you know which one, or if you want to use S-video, you can use that. And on the back is your out. If I can get the lighting on that just so maybe you can read the text on that. There we go. And so this is where you do your video out. And there's a FireWire port that would go out to the computer. And that's how you would do that. So you basically go your analog source in, and then you do your FireWire cable out to the computer so that you connect it. Now, if for some reason you wanted to go the other direction, you edited a video and you wanted to export it out to an analog source such as a VCR tape to send to grandma who doesn't have a computer or DVD player, then what you can actually do is you can actually swap it out. So you would actually run the out here to your VCR. And you would run the in here using the FireWire 4-pin connector that we talked about earlier. And there's the 4-pin connector. And you can actually see it says DVIO, digital video. iLink is what it's sometimes called, or a FireWire port. So that's how you would import for analog source, and then you would just capture into something like iMovie the way you would any other program. The other choice that you have is to use something really big like this, and it's very expensive. One of the problems I've actually run into this deck is that sometimes when I import video, if it's copyrighted video, it will blacken the video. And that really throws things off, and this deck doesn't fix that. It causes that problem. So you may have to go to something a little bit more advanced. And yes, you should not copy copyrighted video, you know, according to legal according to the laws, whatever country and state that you live in. But there are certain times when it is legal, especially in education. And then it's okay to actually make a copy of a video. So, but if you run into a problem with this, one other thing I do want to point out about this deck is you need to turn it on. It's a little confusing because there's actually an on button in the back for power. And I push that. My microphone's probably picking up that there's a fan kicking on. And then when it's on, you have an option here for analog in, or you can choose digital in. So if for some reason it's automatically selected the wrong one, then you can just choose the button and change it. Okay?